Good morning, buen día.
Buenos días.
And you good? All right, go ahead.
Because of its firepower and attack, but also its issues on defense, Cincinnati seems like a hard opponent to try to prepare for. To decide if you want to try to attack them and risk leaving yourself exposed, or pack it in and then not be able to take advantage of their defense. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good opponent. I think their attackers are in very good form, I would say, especially in transition when there is a lot of space. They are very good. I think Varreal is doing great on the left side. Acosta just finding gaps everywhere, can be a little bit on the flanks at times, in between the lines. He has already a good connection with the two, Brenner and Vasquez. I think they have a very solid midfield as well. Powell is fast on the right side. I remember him when he was playing for Portland, and he's very fast actually. So yes, they're a very good team. They're at home. They're in good form. So it will be a difficult task for us. But I mean, we play the way we play, and we have a certain identity that I think we're gonna try to play very similar to how we try to play every time. But obviously, understanding the challenge we have in front of us.
When you went back and watched the second half of the recent game, did you like the two attacking midfielders, Moreno and Almada? Did you like that idea and like how they executed?
Yes, I mean, we were at home. We were a bit more taking the risk, it was something that we were not prepared for without Rossetto. So obviously, well, not prepared for. We were prepared in any scenario, but it wasn't part of the main plan to bring Marce so earlier in the game. So we had to decide on Marce just because of his quality and abilities on the ball. We felt that we can be more aggressive from the middle, and that was the decision in that moment. Now this is a different game, and we have to see what midfield can provide more balance to us, and that's where the decision will come.
Does Ibarra and Sosa, is that a pairing that works in your mind as far as both their skill sets being a little more geared towards ball winning and staying deeper?
Yes, it can work. To be fair, I have very good options. I think like Amar, when Amar plays, he also gives us a different look in terms of the balls he can play in behind. He's one that actually against Cincinnati he did very well to break lines, and then also in Toronto, I remember that game against tough pressure, and he was distributing the ball very well, playing balls in behind. That's something that we really like about Amar, his connection. Obviously, we have good pairs. Is how we want to play what will determine who will play there. Santi Ibarra, one of the two, and Amar, or Amar Santi, Amar Ibarra, Santi Marcelino, Thiago. Like we have to try to see out of all the options we have trained, which makes more sense for this game.
What is Brooks's timeline since he's back in training?
He's gonna be available for us this time. Actually, he could have been last weekend, but I prefer not, just because he only had, I think, 3 sessions with the team, and I felt it was a bit of a rush for him, and I was kind of covered there with Ronald on the bench, so I felt no, we shouldn't have taken the risk. Now he will be available. He has a lot more sessions. He looks very fit, so he will be available for sure.
Caleb and Aiden have put in a lot of work over the last couple months. Is there any rush to kind of get them a little rest here?
Yeah, I mean, those are conversations. We will have 3 games in a week. This week coming, Cincinnati, Red Bulls, Columbus. So there will be some sort of rotation, some games more, some games less, maybe no rotation in certain moments, but for sure I think many players will have opportunities in the next few weeks, and we will address which one needs more rest at the right time.
Last time you played Cincinnati, you went with Caleb and Andrew on the left. Is that a potential option this time? And could even Edwin take the wing spot that Caleb played last time?
Yeah, I think we had a good pair that day. On the left, I felt actually that on the right was where we were hurting more Cincinnati, the long switches of play in that game. But I think it's going to be a very different game, very completely different. I remember it was Bati playing for them as a left wing, so they were playing there with a striker playing as a wing back on the left, so we had a lot of space. I'm sure now Barreal will solidify a bit more that side. So I think it will be in some regards different game compared to that one that we look dominant. We had kind of a lot of chances. I think was one of the games with more expected goals for us in the season. We fail. We miss a penalty, so we should have won probably that one. But it will be a very different game. Now they are in different form. Now they are more motivated. I mean, Acosta and Vasquez coming back from MLS All Stars, that gives you a boost as well. So it will be a very, very different challenge.
Speaking of the All-Star break, does that give you time to evaluate, no midweek, to give you time to evaluate, to look at the overall season and just kind of see where the season's at? And have you done that? And where do you think the team is right now?
Yes, I mean we try to evaluate after every game. Where are we? Where are we within the the perspective of the rest of the league, the rest of the conference? I think the team the last two games we've been much better, a little bit more determination in certain moments. I think you always see good determination on the field, but in certain key moments of the game you see a little bit extra and a little bit better mentality and understanding how to close down games, how to make sure we are not punished in certain other games. So I think that mentality is going to help us to give the last push for the last part of the season.
And then speaking of the All-Star game, thoughts on it last night? You have a very interesting perspective from your background. What is your opinions on what you saw last night?
Well, it's hard to evaluate those type of games. I think you just can appreciate the talent is on the field for both teams. I think it's hard to evaluate who played better, who played worse, because no training sessions together, no cohesion. So it's more about pure talent put all at the same time on the field, and then I think it's more of a enjoyable game rather than something we can analyze. But it's good to see kind of the rivalry, and when you compare roster to roster, it's interesting to make some comparisons. So I understand all that, but I couldn't analyze in the way we analyze other games.
And lastly, for me on that game, do you think it's beneficial for both leagues to be together with the All-Star? Do you think that format benefits both leagues, MLS and Liga MX, just the way it's set up right now?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, there's a lot of competition among both leagues, among those both countries. So I don't know if it really benefits both big time, because we have qualifying for World Cups, qualifying for Olympics, qualifying for under 20s, all that, and plus that we have these nations leagues, and we have a lot of competitions where we compete to each other. So I don't know if this is the main thing. So I don't know if in the future when I come back to MLS playing other big clubs in Europe or something like that. So we'll see. It's interesting, but I feel like we can obviously move in a different direction. Understanding that we have a lot of competitions among both countries.
We're about to talk to Juanjo. What have you thought of his performances so far? In particular, it seems like he is the communicator in the back line you guys were looking for.
Yeah, he adds a little bit of leadership to the back line. I think he's been very solid for us, just a steady center back that understands his role, and he's been a great addition so far. Obviously, he kind of stabilized now the back line, and we like that. So far so good. We're very happy with Juanjo on the field, but what I've been telling you, off the field, he's even better. Probably he's a great pro. He's always in the gym, taking some other players with him. He's always enthusiastic with his teammates, communicators. So he brings a very good vibe in the locker room. So I like that also from him.
I wanted to ask about Andrew playing as a left center back at the end of the game against Seattle. Obviously, it worked out pretty well. Is that a wrinkle that y'all will continue to kind of potentially use going forward, or is it just one of those things that kind of fit the situation?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We did that more just to kind of try to risk a little bit in the last part of the game, just pulling backline 3 rather than backline 4. So we push a little bit our players a bit higher, and we had a little bit of momentum. We did, so it worked in that moment. I don't know if in a different moment I can do the same. It's obviously an option because he's very good at progressing the ball forward. This is the way I like my center backs to be. He's left-footed, that helps. So it's a good option to have, but obviously we will see which games are better for that use of Andrew. Yes, very good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Juanjo.
You seem to have found a level of comfort with the team, and it's showing in your performances. Is that an accurate statement?
Dice que has encontrado un nivel de confort en el equipo, si estás de acuerdo, y que estás a un buen nivel.
Me he sentido, sí, cómodo, me adapté muy rápido, pienso, pero no estoy en una zona de confort. Creo que no es mi techo, creo que puedo dar todavía mucho más, puedo aportar más. Y como dices, vengo llegando, vengo acoplándome bien y nada, tengo pocos partidos, espero hacerlo muy bien, todavía mejor, porque bueno, se puede mejorar. Y nada, me siento muy cómodo y me siento muy confortable con todo el equipo.
Yeah, I've felt very comfortable so far, and I feel like I've adapted very well to the team. But I wouldn't say that I'm in a comfort zone because I still think I haven't reached my ceiling yet. I think I have a lot of room to improve. So, I do feel like I'm very comfortable with my teammates and we're doing well. But we know there's still a lot of things where we can work and continue to improve.
Brandon Vasquez might be the biggest striker in Major League Soccer in terms of size, and he's in a good form right now. What's the key to slowing him down?
Sí, entendí. No, sabemos que Vázquez viene bien este torneo, que es un goleador, pero bueno, también nosotros tenemos buenas cosas, hemos venido mejorando mucho defensivamente. Y nada, la manera en que vamos a enfrentar ese partido o a sus ofensivos va a ser seguir manteniendo el bloque junto, seguir con el mismo orden, con la misma intensidad. Y la idea es ir allá y guardar otro 0 atrás.
Yeah, Vasquez is a great player. He's in really good form, having a good season. He's a goal scorer, so we know what he can do. But I think we're also coming into this game doing things well. So we're going to go there and try to maintain that same block defensively, keep the same order, the same intensity, and try to go there and get 3 points and keep a clean sheet.
When you're on the field and you're giving direction to teammates during the game, out of curiosity, are you speaking in English or are you speaking in Spanish to guys like George and the other guys around you?
A veces en español, sometimes in English.
Oh, okay.
Dependiendo quién sea el compañero.
Depends who the teammate is.
Okay.
Hay veces que, bueno, la velocidad del juego o estoy muy concentrado que le hablo en español a Aiden McFadden o a Caleb, se me va, pero bueno, intento identificar a quién le estoy hablando y si en español o en inglés.
Sometimes with the speed of the game or if I'm really focused, I might yell at Aiden in Spanish, but I try to identify who I'm speaking to and communicate in the right language.
Have you communicated to him enough that if I say this, I mean this during the game if you're speaking to him in Spanish?
If he understands.
Yeah. If he understands certain words in
Yeah.
Spanish, so things don't get lost.
Y Aiden entiende unas palabras que dices en español, o sea, comandos.
Las básicas muy pocas. Intento ser también lo más claro, a veces me expreso con él en español y me entiende un poco, o a veces le pido ayuda a algún profe para que le sepa decir lo que le quiero decir.
He knows the basic ones,
Okay.
so I try to be clear when I'm speaking to him, or sometimes I'll ask one of the assistant coaches for help if I need it, but yeah, try to be very clear.
Even though you're relatively new, it feels like you've taken on a very vocal presence. Have you been encouraged to do that by the coaching staff?
Parece que bueno, ya eres uno de los más vocales, jugadores más vocales quizás en el equipo, si es algo que te han pedido del cuerpo técnico.
Bueno, eso es algo que traigo. Me gusta hablar porque creo que ayuda mucho, más siendo un defensor que ves todo prácticamente el partido de atrás y a veces una voz es muy importante para ayudar al compañero que no vea sus espaldas o intentar acomodar un poco, intentar poner un poco de orden táctico, intentar, te digo, con la voz apoyar también, palabras de apoyo creo que son importantes, pero básicamente es eso, lo traigo de joven, antes hablaba un poco menos, pero bueno, con el paso de los años vas sabiendo qué cosas hablar, cuándo no y también de qué manera hablar.
that's just something that I bring. I think I like to talk. I like to communicate with the guys along the back line, just to try and keep us organized. Try and tell guys, who's behind them. Just always communicating, and it's also about speaking words of support and encouragement. Also, just during the games. So I think that's something that I bring. It's something that I've had since I was younger. Maybe a little bit less when I was younger, but as you go gaining more experience in your career, you become more vocal.
Have you been have you ever worked the back line, even a goalkeeper so young, guys in their early 20s, and how have you tried to help them out, just get acclimated to the professional game?
¿Alguna vez has jugado con una línea incluyendo el portero tan joven, digamos? ¿Y cómo ha sido, si estás ayudando mucho a ellos?
No, la verdad que es la primera vez. Yo vengo de un equipo que es muy experimentado. Siempre me tocaba ser yo el joven en esa línea de 4 y con el arquero. Entonces les aprendí mucho a mis compañeros en México, y eso es lo que trato ahora de venir a aportar, de venir a ayudar, para que se sientan que sí soy un poco más grande, pero nada, sigo siendo joven, yo también tengo mucho por aprender, y bueno, lo poquito, lo mucho que puedo aportar es para el bien de ellos y del equipo también.
No, it's the first time. I'm coming from a very experienced team in Mexico where I was always the younger guy on the back line, so I learned a lot from playing with those older teammates, and now coming here, yeah, it's true that I'm a little bit older, but I'm still a young player, but it's just about trying to bring that experience that I've gained throughout my career and try to help these guys and help us all to continue to improve.
What did you learn from those teammates as far as directing the back line?
¿Qué aprendiste de esos jugadores?
Muchas cosas, la verdad que estuve con grandísimos jugadores de muchísima experiencia, de muchísimos partidos, y la verdad que tuve y tengo todavía muy buena relación con ellos. Les aprendí desde cosas desde dentro de la cancha hasta fuera de la cancha, la manera en cómo quizás acomodar el cuerpo, la manera a veces hasta de pensar. Son tantas cosas que no me salen ahora, pero les aprendí mucho, y eso es lo que trato ahora de aportar.
So many things. I was playing with guys who were very experienced, a lot of games in their career, and I still have a good relationship with those guys. So, things on the field, also off the field, your body positioning, just the way you think. So many things that right now it's hard to single them out. But yeah, they're very experienced guys.
Are you hoping the loan gets extended, or you get purchased here?
¿Te gustaría quedarte más tiempo si se extiende el préstamo o
Sí.
incluso una transferencia?
Sí, claro. Me gustaría, me encantaría quedarme mucho tiempo acá. La verdad que me gusta mucho el club, me gusta mucho la manera en que la gente me ha recibido, me gusta mucho las instalaciones, la ciudad, la manera de jugar que tiene Gonzalo. Me adapté muy rápido, y claro, me encantaría quedarme mucho tiempo.
Yes, of course. I would love to stay here for a long time. I think it's a great club. I really enjoy being here. The way that people, around the club treat me, the facilities we have here, the city, the way the team plays. So yes, I'd like to be here for a long time.
Who were you rooting for last night, out of curiosity?
In the All-Star game? In the All-Star game, ¿con quién ibas?
No, con la MLS. Ahora estoy acá.
MLS, now that I'm here.
Juanjo, a few players after the Seattle win called it a confidence boost. How important is that belief heading into the match against Cincinnati?
Unos jugadores dijeron después del partido de Seattle que fue un plus para la confianza. Si estás de acuerdo, ¿qué tan importante es para el próximo partido?
Sí, ganar siempre te da confianza. Ganar contra un buen rival como es Seattle te da también un plus, te da más confianza, pero no nos podemos conformar. Todavía queda mucho por jugar, todavía no hemos ganado nada, absolutamente nada. Nuestra misión es seguir sumando, seguir ganando partidos, que la confianza del grupo aumente y nada, no conformarnos porque bueno, todavía no hemos ganado nada.
Yes, I think winning always gives you a confidence boost, and also winning against a good team like Seattle is good for your confidence. But we know that we can't be satisfied because we still haven't won anything yet. There's still a lot to play for, and we haven't we haven't proven anything yet. So we've got to continue to work and try and get good results. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Juanjo.
Gracias.